welcome to this video. So in this video, I'm going to solve 2025 eighth geometry question in simple terms. Even if you don't know the question, after the end of this video, you'll be able to solve any question on eighth geometry. For those joining me for the first time, my name is Blessing. Be sure to follow my TikTok and also my YouTube for more videos like this. So the question is saying, in the diagram, the points T and R lie on the equator, while P and Q are on latitude 40 degrees. We have been given our pi to be 3.142 and our radius to be 6370 kilometers. So our first question is saying, find the difference in longitude between points T and R. So before we understand how to calculate the difference in longitude, you need to first understand the longitude and the latitude and how you can identify them. So on our diagram or on our sphere here, we have two lines. We have lines which lines from north to south, these lines. Then we also have lines which lines from west to east. So these lines, they differ. So the lines which line from west to east, these lines are known as the latitude. And remember, always coordinates that represent latitudes will always have either north or south. So whenever you see a coordinate, for example, you can have 50 degrees north or 60 degrees what? South. So whenever you see a coordinate as both north or south, remember this represents latitude. Then when you see a coordinate as either west or east, it represents what? Longitude. So whenever we are representing longitude, we either use west or east. Yeah. So now that you have understood how you can identify which ones are longitude, which ones are latitude, we can move on now to finding the difference in longitude. So the way we calculate the difference in longitude is just basically addition and subtraction of coordinates. Yeah. So how do we add and subtract these coordinates? So there is a principle which you need to understand, or which you need to pay attention to it for you to be able to solve questions on eighth geometry. So the principle is, whenever you have two same sides, so let's say we have same sides. What do I mean? So it can either be longitude or latitude. Let's say we'll pick in our example the same question. So we are looking at point T and point R. And our goal here is to calculate what? To calculate the difference between longitude. So I told you longitude always have what? East or west. So you go to your diagram where T is. Then you start going up following this line, because we said that these lines are known as longitude. Then when you reach here, you can see that T as 130 degrees west as our longitude. Then you apply this on the R. Then when you start going up, you can see that R has a longitude of 50 degrees east. So now how can you calculate the difference? So this is where you now you need to pay extra attention. So the way we calculate the difference between longitude is that whenever, I repeat, whenever you have different sides, you do what? You add. What do I mean? Whenever I have west, east, these sides are different. These sides are different. I'm supposed to add them. So I will say the difference in longitude between T and R, since they have different sides, west and east, is 130 plus 50 degrees, which gives me 180 degrees as the difference in longitude. But in other cases, they can bring what? Let's say they bring what? T is equals to what? 130 degrees west and R is 50 degrees west. How can you calculate the difference in what? In latitude. So here, if you have the same sides, you what? You subtract. So if you have the different sides, add, same sides, you subtract. So here you can subtract 130 minus 50 degrees, which gives us 8. Yeah, so this is how you can what? Solve differences in longitude or latitude. Yeah. So the next question is saying, find the distance PQ along latitude 40 degrees north in kilometer. So the way we calculate latitude is that we have a distance. We have a formula which we use for calculating what? Distance. So this formula I'm going to show you, you need to know it. Here we only have two formulas which you need to know. One is the formula for distance in latitude. The second one is the formula for distance in longitude. Yeah, and remember these two formulas, they only differ on one part, as you will see. So the formula for calculating distance in longitude is distance is equals to theta over 360 multiplied by 2 pi r cos lat. So the reason I've put cos lat is because here the angle we are going to put, or here the value we are going to put, is where what? The 2 points lie. So whenever you are calculating distance in what? Latitudes, we have to consider the latitude at which the points are. But in longitude, since these lines are the same, we don't use cos. We just end here. So this is the formula for calculating distance in latitude. Yeah. So now what does everything mean? So basically this angle is the difference in what? Longitude. So here is what you need to know. When you are calculating the distance in latitude, when you are calculating distance in latitude, the difference we use is in longitude. So you say, what points are we looking for? So the points we are looking for is P and Q. So remember, P and Q, the difference we calculated in the first question. Why do I say so? Because P and Q, T and R are on the same longitude. So meaning they have the same what? Difference in longitude. So you say 80. Okay, so as I've mentioned, this is the formula that we are going to use to calculate what? Our distance. So now you say this angle we use here represents what? The difference in longitude. Because P and Q, they are on different what? Longitude. That's why we are using the difference in longitude. But they are on the same what? Latitude. Yeah. So you say the difference in longitude is what? 80 degrees. Why 80? Because these lines are what? Are the same. So no matter where the points are, the difference in longitude will always be the same. Yeah. So you say now 360, then multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3.142 as our pi, multiplied by the radius, which is 6370, cos what? 40 degrees. So the reason we use cos 40 degrees is because these lines, the latitude are what? They are different, unlike longitude, which are the same. Yeah. So here again, when you are multiplying, you need to start with what? With cos, because when you punch this, you get a wrong answer. But you need to start from what? From cos going this side. So you say cos 40 multiplied by 6370 times 3.142 times 2 times 8. So yeah, this is how you punch on the calculator. So you say cos 40 times 6370 times 3.142 times 2 times 8. So you have 2000, you have 2,453,124 point something. Yeah. So once you have this, you basically write it. You have 2, 4, 5. My bad. So yeah, when you punch, you get this answer. 0.3. So remember to write everything. Then you divide it by 360. Then our final answer is 6,814.23. But remember, in paper 2, there are instruction which says leave your answer to 3 significant figures. So how can you leave this answer to 3 significant figures? So basically just count 1, 2, 3. So 3 significant figures, it's reaching here. So it says 6, 8, 1. Then you look at the next number. Is this number bigger than 5 or is it 5? No, it is less than 5. So if this number is less than 5, meaning nothing will happen to the next number, you are just going to replace it with 0. Then you say kilometer. So this was our distance in kilometer. Yeah. So the next question and the final question is saying calculate the circumference of the circle of latitude 40 degrees in kilometer. So how do we calculate the circumference? So remember, I told you this is a circle. So the way we are going to calculate our circumference is basically by using the formula for circumference, which is circumference is equals to 2 pi r cos what? Latitude. So why are we saying cos latitude? So whenever you are dealing with latitudes, whenever you are calculating distance in latitude, always remember to put cos latitude, that latitude which the points are on. So we know that 2 is just 2. Then we have the pi, which is 3.142. Then we have the r, which is 63.70. Then we have our latitude, which is cos 40 degrees. So now here you just multiply, and I've shown how to multiply. So you start from cos 40 degrees multiplied by 63.70 multiplied by 3.142 multiplied by 2. So our circumference is basically 30,664.05. So again, leave your answer to 3 significant figures. So you count 1, 2, 3. So you say 3, 0, 6 is the number after this 6 above or below 5. It is above. So meaning we add a 1 to this 6. So it becomes 7. Then these 2, you just replace them with zeros. Because 0 is not significant. Kilometer. So this was our circumference. So this is where the question ends. Be sure to subscribe, share the video to help others, and comment for the next video.